Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the HTML practical. Before starting HTML, you should know the collection of web pages. We call it as a website. So collection of web pages mean that web pages might consist of animation, graphic, multimedia, sounds, or video, all those things. So such kind of web page we are going to develop with the HTML hypertext markup language. So HTML stands for hypertext markup language. So in first HTML practical, we are going to make a web page. It should display my first HTML code. Okay, so just look at my first one. This is the first HTML page which I made. So it display my first HTML code Sri Lanka. Okay, but and here on the top it is displaying practical one. To make such kind of web page, this is a basic practical coding. Okay, so when you consider a web page, it consists of HTML file, and HTML files mean hypertext markup language one. Then each HTML page consists of header HTML tags. That means HTML tag calling the header, then body. So inside the head tag, there is a title. Okay. So now we'll just compare the output and the coding. I'll take the output together into this page. Okay. So by looking this output and the coding, you can understand the HTML starting tag is calling the HTML page, and there is a closing tag. Then inside header starting tag, head closing tag. So this slash means closing tag. Then title tag. Inside the title tag, we have practical one. The word which is displayed on the practical one. That means inside the title, we'll just take this one. This one. Title one means the things which is displayed there. That means the practical one means title. Practical one is inside the title text. So the things what we are typing inside the title tag will display on the top of the page. That means like a task. On the top, it will display the name. So if the name is there on the top of the web page, that means like this, then easy to identify the name, what is the file. So there might be a lot of files. Okay. So then my first HTML code Sri Lanka, that part is inside the body. Okay. So it is coming from this place. And Sri Lanka in one word. It should be in one word because I just Sri Lanka, even though if you press the enter, it is coming in one line. Okay. So I just press the enter, but in the output, we will get it in one line. Then body closing tag we have, and body starting tag also on the top. Okay. Shall we try and make this one as a practical one? And try to make your web page. So when you are making, you have how to do that? First tell me. You have to go to the notepad. Don't use the editing tools. Huh? There are a lot of editing tools, ready-made one. It's easy to use, but according to our syllabus, we have to use the normal, no, I mean, notepad text editor. Don't use notepad++. it is automatically giving us the coding. Okay, so now we'll try. You just see how to do that. Huh? I'll take copy paste it. You better make a folder in the any place. It's better to save it in the location. While you are saving, I just save it on the desktop. Okay, so I'm naming it. Okay, as HTML file. I'll take 2024. Okay, so inside that I'm going to save it. So when I'm saving, I should give it as practical, whatever name, HTML or whatever, one dot HTML, and select the all files, save it. Okay, so then how to run this? You better go to that particular folder. Double click on it. It will open with the edge. Okay, this is a very first practical. Now look at there is a practical one also displaying. Okay, shall we try that? Okay, write the heading HTML practical, then write the HTML main headings and draw the output. Okay, just draw this output. Those who have done O-level ICT without looking HTML code, try the HTML code. That means type it in a laptop, okay, and try to execute. If there are any issues, you can check the coding. Right? Those who haven't done ICT, then go through the coding one by one and type it. By looking, you can type. Those who haven't done oral ICT, those who are good in oral ICT HTML, just check whether you can remember this coding. If not, you can check it by looking that. Okay. Okay, now let's start the practical. So you have to save it as HTML1. That means practical1.html. Now, when you are saving, save it as practical1.html and select the all files. Honey. Otherwise, you can't run it. Okay, start the practical. In practical 2, we are going to use the head. Head mean H1, H2, header tags. That means the letter is going to highlight like a heading. Okay, so when we have the HTML tag, same tag, then head, title, practical 2, then title closing tag, heading closing tag, body, starting, closing, and HTML closing. Now I have H1, my first HTML code, H1. Then I will get the output with the large font size. Okay. So you also try it. I'll show you my practical one. Okay, so here my first practical. I think I have already shown it. Then second practical, the font size will be much more bigger than the normal font size. Okay. So shall we try that? And the output is there. Okay. Try this one now. HTML starting tag should be there. And while you are doing this, you better draw the output as well. That is important. Okay. H1, H starting tag, then H1 closing tag. H. Okay, that is the most important one. Okay, that is the most important one. Okay, so here the my first practical. I think I have already shown it. Then second practical, the font size will be much more bigger than the normal font size. Okay. So shall we try that? Okay, so here the my first practical. So the font size will be bigger. And the name of the practical is practicals 2. So you have to use practical2.html. When you are saving, save it as practical2.html. We are using the heading and the title. Okay, now start it. You have to do the practical, then copy the coding. Okay, in your third practical, you have to make HTML code, including heading 1 and heading 2. Just look at the output. First one consists of the font size H1, heading 1. That means it has the bigger font size. Then H2, small font size. So you have to make the HTML page with my name is, that is heading 1. Then your name should be there. You have to use your own name into this one. But H3, font size is becoming a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'll just do some change. Okay, I'm not, this one will do say as same. Then we'll take H1, H2, H3, all the types. Okay, or when you are using, use only the H3 here and closing H3 tag. So that means the font size of the H1 is going to be, that means the name is, my name is appear bigger, then H3 will display smaller, like this. So this is the output. Shall we start it now? So use the same coding. Only thing you are going to use addition one, H1 and H3. Use your own name. So when I save it as practical3.html and give this one practical3. Look at the places where I use the code, change the code. Okay. Now start it. Okay. Just look at this program. Practical number 4. In practical number 4, we have set of H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So up to H6, I have used the font sizes. That means heading. There are 6 size of headings. Okay, so when I use the, this is heading 1. That means I use the code heading 1. It is inside the H1 tag. Okay, then the font size became bigger. Then when I use H2, the font size became a little bit smaller. H3 and again small. H4, H5, H6 mean the smallest. So by H7 mean default. Okay. So like we can change the size of the heading while changing the H1, H2, H3, H4, H6. So whatever you want, you may can write even though your name or anything. But if it is inside the H1 tag, it will be bigger. H2 tag, it will be a little bit smaller. Like us, we can change the size. Okay. So the things what is there in H1 mean, you can just show you from here that H1 appear from this part. The coding is mainly displayed with the result of this one, H1. The font became bigger as a result of this. Okay. Then next one, H2. It's becoming smaller because of H2 starting and H2 close. So whatever you want, you can write inside the H1 and H1 starting and closing tag. Okay, shall we do this one as a practical? This is a practical 4. You have to save it as practical4.html. And the title also you have to name it as practical 4. Okay, so we'll start doing this. Okay, copy the coding and do the practical. Both you have to do. Not only the practical, you have to copy the coding as